Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Secrets Kept Hidden video with me, Jaden. Today we will be reading the Creepypasta, The Strangest Security Tape I've Ever Seen. I work at a gas station in rural Pennsylvania. It's a boring job, but it's pretty easy and it pays alright. A few weeks ago the new guy started. I'll call him Jeremy. Jeremy is weird. He's about 25 to 26 years old and he hardly speaks, but he's got the creepiest laugh I've ever heard. My boss and I have both noticed this, but it's never been a problem and the customers never really complain about him, and he's always done his job fairly well. Well, up until a few weeks ago, when for some reason motor oil began disappearing. It started disappearing from the shelves, then from the back, then it was up to a point where entire shipments disappeared. But the weird thing was, every time it disappeared it was during Jeremy's shift. So my boss took the tapes home to see if he could try and catch Jeremy in the act. He wasn't able to catch anything up until this point. My boss usually takes the tapes home with him to try and catch Jeremy stealing, but his daughter had a softball game last night, so he asked me to watch the tapes. He offered to pay me overtime, so I obviously took the offer. I needed to save up for a vacation, so I took the tapes home and I popped them into a VCR and sat back and watched them. 2 days ago, the last time he worked, Jeremy started at 4 PM. Everything seemed pretty normal. He counted out how much money there was in the counter, he began to switch off the lights, and he basically locked up. Well, that's how it usually went, but tonight went a bit different. The first person who came in at 4:03 was Mr. Templeton. A regular, she picked up her cigarettes and a newspaper and paid with a $20 bill. Nothing usual there. The next customer was some local guy named Ron. He drives a motorcycle and usually comes in every few days. He fills up his tank, got a bag of beef jerky, paid with a credit card and then left. Next guy was some stranger in a cowboy hat. I've never seen him before, but we get plenty of strangers passing through here, just like any other gas station. He got $40 worth of diesel fuel, paid with a $100 bill, and went on his way. I sat back and sighed. The only thing more boring than doing this job is watching someone else do it. My boss' offer was enough to keep me watching, though, so I left the tape on. Everything seemed pretty normal. I had a feeling that if Jeremy was stealing motor oil, he knew we were suspicious of him by now. I didn't expect him to be dumb enough to let us catch him on camera. Things stayed boring, usual routine until about 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, Mrs. Templeton came back in. She must have forgotten something, but she didn't. She bought the same pack of cigarettes as before and the same newspaper. She paid with another $20 bill. That's odd, I thought, but then again, she's a little absent-minded. I thought Jeremy should have told her she already got her smokes, but not against the rules to sell somebody the same thing twice. That's when Ron came back in. Again, he bought another tank of gas for his motorcycle and later paid with the same amount of money and got the same pack of beef jerky. He paid with a credit card. No big deal. I figured this was just a weird coincidence. Mr. Templeton is forgetful and Ron probably owns more than one Harl. Or should I say truck? But anyway, that's when the guy in the cowboy hat came back in. I felt a chill run down my spine. Don't get diesel, don't get diesel. I found myself whispering to my empty living room, but he did. He got $40 worth of diesel fuel and paid with another $100 bill. Every move he made was identical to his first visit, right down to the way he scratched his nose before he walked out. Either this guy is rich, owns a lot of trucks and just moved into town, or something really bizarre was happening. I had to keep watching. Every customer for the next hour was the same before. Every single one. I was seriously freaked out. And then at 6:03 p.m., Mr. Templeton walked back in. She bought her cigarettes and newspaper again and paid with a $20 bill again. I thought I was going to lose it. I only watched another half an hour before I started fast forwarding through the rest. It was all the same. Every customer would come in at the exact same time, exactly 1 hour apart. Now I know what you're thinking. That sneaky motherfucker, Jeremy, he messed with the tapes. He had ran a loop of the first hour of business over and over. That wasn't the case. There are windows around the cash register area that the cameras cover, and I watched the sunlight fade as time ran on. Jeremy routinely didn't loop over. He swept, mopped, restocked, and did all his duties exactly how you would accept. But the same customers kept coming in. I was panicking at this point. Something was seriously wrong with what I was seeing, and I had no explanation for it. I skipped ahead to when he locked up and walked out to his car. He hadn't stolen anything, but I kept watching. Just to make sure, I fast forwarded one last time to about midnight. At exactly 12:03, out of nowhere, Jeremy's face popped up on camera. I don't mean he moved his head into view. I mean that 1 second the store was empty. The next second his face was all I could see. He wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking at me. I was sure of it. I screamed and fumbled the remote. But by the time I grabbed it, he was gone. Just as soon as he had left one frame, he was there the next. He wasn't. One frame he was there, the next he wasn't. My hand was shaking like crazy, but I popped in another tape. The other indoor camera shows the back area by the cash register. I would be able to see how he got up to put his face in the camera like that. I skipped ahead to 12:03, but there was nothing. I would have been able to see him standing on a chair or something on this tape, but he wasn't there. I didn't see him enter the store at all. After he left, it's like he wasn't really there. He doesn't know the security code, and no alarms were triggered that night after he locked up. Well, I did see, however, What I did see, however, was that at 12:03 the motor oil vanished off the shelf. All of it. Same as Jeremy's face. 1 second it was there and the next it wasn't. I turned the tape off and went to bed. But I didn't get a wink of sleep. My body is exhausted right now, but my mind is racing. The tape was unbearable and was the creepiest and most disturbing thing I've seen in my life. I woke a few hours later, and then my boss asked me once I went into work how the tapes were. I let him know what was happening and told him Jeremy works and that Jeremy works the night shift that night, so I had to tell him everything that happened on those tapes. Anyway, I'm gonna try again to get some last minutes of sleep before I have to go in and deal with this. I'll let the guys know what happened. Update 2:49 p.m. Updating from my phone. Apologies in advance for errors. My boss just finished watching the last of the tapes. I told him what to expect, but you really can't prepare someone for something like that. He's scared shiftlessly. I still am too. And Jeremy is due to come in at 4. We've got a little over an hour to get our shit together, but neither one of us knows what to say to him. Is he just a fucked up guy who likes to steal motor oil and scare the shit out of people? Or is he something else? I don't know, this is crazy, but does anyone think he could have anything to do with the time loop? My boss said he never noticed anything like that in the other tapes, but the way he popped up in the one made me think he knew I would be watching. It's like he wanted me to see what he could do, like he was showing off or something. The way he smiled into the camera was like a little kid showing you a sandcastle they just built or something. I don't know. I probably sound crazy. I sure feel the part. I'm going to talk to my boss some more. We have to calm ourselves down and figure out how to handle this. I'll update again tonight, but I have a really bad feeling about how this is going to play out. Update 4:33 p.m. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 5:33 p.m. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 6:33. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but the phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 7:33. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. 8:33. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. 10:58. Holy shit. I just got home and I saw my previous updates. Things make less sense now than ever. Here's what I can tell you. I went to work. Jeremy never showed up. My boss and I decided to call the police. As you're well aware, when I picked up the phone to call... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all the time we have for today, but don't worry, part 2 of this story will be coming out, and we will end the strangest security tape I've ever seen. Just enjoy the last few seconds of gameplay, and the video for part 2 will come out, hopefully, on Friday. See you later.